Morning, Your Honor. We're here for State of Oregon versus Nancy Lee, Crampton Brophy, case number 18 CR 59251. Appearing back to the State of Oregon, Sean Overstreet, OVERSTREET, bar number 114859. Ms. Brophy is present, currently in custody, represented by counsel. Today is the date and time set for sentencing, and the state is ready to proceed.
Ms. Herman?
Good morning, Your Honor. Nicole Herman, HERMANN, bar number 126353.
Hello.
Good morning, Your Honor. Madeline Loeb, spelled L-O-E-B, bar number 173970.
Weinmiller?
Morning, Your Honor. Chris Weinmiller with Ms. Brophy. Weinmiller is WINEMILLER, and my bar number is 863177.
Ms. Maxfield?
Good morning. Lisa Maxfield, also here with Ms. Brophy. My bar number is 844337, and my last name is spelled Maxfield.
All right, Mr. Overstreet, we'll turn to the state. Were there any people who wanted to make statements this morning?
There are, Your Honor, and I think I have an order here that we can proceed with. The first would be Daniel Brophy's mother, Karen Brophy. She provided a written statement to have me read to the court.
Okay.
It's been a long 3.5 years for Jack and me. They've been a time of reflecting on the loss our family has suffered. What we heard on that September day, we could not believe. Nancy arrested? You were part of our family for over 25 years. Was that relationship all deception? My heart breaks if this is true. We will never understand how you could decide that it was an advantage for you to take the life of our son, that he did not deserve to live. So you took his life from all of us, a pawn in your plan? You will never know our beautiful great-grandchildren, Dan's grandchildren. These children deserve to know and love him as we all have. It has been heartwarming for us to hear from many what an amazing, wonderful man our son was. We always knew that. Now the world does. I don't know what the rest of your life will be like. Not pleasant, I am sure. But we hope you will find God's grace ahead of you. Karen and Jack. And Your Honor, with that, I believe the next person to speak would be Clorinda Perez.
All right.
And Your Honor, unless you have a preference, I've offered both either to stand at the podium or if the person would be more comfortable to sit in the witness stand. I don't know if you...
Whatever the people want to do. In fact, if they even want to speak from back in the rows, that is fine too. But Ms. Perez, I see you want to be here. Okay, I should explain though that your statements will be to me, just so you understand. But you can sit there if you prefer. Okay.
Today, Your Honor, I stand for Chef Brophy, for the students and the instructors of OCI, whose lives were changed forever that Saturday morning that Chef Brophy's life was taken. Your Honor, his eyes were green. His eyes told it all. His eyes were green, and they were utterly heartbroken. Utterly heartbroken because he knew. He knew because he's seen who did this. And I will forever have to live with those green, heartbroken eyes. Nancy Brophy did not care what she had to do, who she had to hurt, or who she had to destroy, so long as her evil plan succeeded. And only a heartless, calculated person could be capable of doing this. She did not once think of who was going to enter into that kitchen, who was going to find him, and who was going to be there that day. The student that called 911 and so bravely relayed the operator's information to me, my dear friend who courageously cleared out the kitchen so no one would have to see Chef Brophy the way that she left him, Chef Sadie, who knelt next to me on the floor and begged the Lord with tears streaming down her eyes, begging for Chef Brophy's life. All of us were affected that day. And to hear her say that we went on with our lives and nothing happened, that we weren't affected, is a true statement and a reflection of what a cold-blooded murderer she is. Chef Brophy will continue to live on. He will continue to live on in all the hearts of those that knew and loved him, and his memory will never die. Your Honor, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we have a couple of family members joining us on WebEx. I would like to ask if Bill Brophy or Rob Brophy would like to make any comments.
1 second, Judge, I'll need to unmute them because they're not able to unmute themselves.
All right, hold on for just a minute. You're currently muted in the courtroom, so wait for just one moment.
Okay, we'll start with Bill Brophy. If he would like to make a statement, we can put him up on the screen as well.
All right, Mr. Bill Brophy, did you wish to make a statement?
I need a minute to
1 second, sorry, Judge.
I need a minute to pull up my screen.
Okay.
Muted.
Yes, we can hear him. We can hear Mr. Bill Brophy.
You unmuted, babe?
Often in the morning, I ponder the fact that I will never see my brother on this earth again. I will never get an opportunity to go mushroom hunting with him. There will be no more yeasted waffles at family gatherings. Because of your most selfish act, we have all experienced a great loss. Even if you are not willing to admit to all of us what you did, I hope you can confess to your maker. Whatever time you spend in prison is nothing compared to an eternity in hell. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute Bill Brophy. Who is the next person, Mr.
I'll
Roberts?
just check with Rob Brophy to see if he would like to make a statement.
Rob Brophy. Okay, give me just 1 second. Okay, I have Rob Brophy unmuted, Judge.
And Mr. Rob Brophy, you don't have to make a statement. You can if you wish. Did you wish to say anything?
Your Honor, I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm just going to pass. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And Your Honor, I just want to ask if there's anybody on the WebEx, the family members that were on WebEx that we did not give an opportunity to.
Okay, give me just a second. We have it set so they cannot unmute themselves, so I will change that. Okay, so if there's anybody on WebEx that is associated with the Brophy family, they can now unmute themselves. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody unmute themselves at this time, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off that ability.
All right, thank you. Then at this time, Your Honor, that's Nathaniel Stillwater, if you'd like to make a statement.
Okay.
The years of deceit have spanned decades. From learning that your solution to my father being married to my mother was, I can fix that, to years of payroll and tax fraud that you waged on your employees. You've always thought you were one step ahead. Your largest financial contribution in the latter years was sending my father off to work an extra job so you could continue to pretend to be an author. My father possessed more knowledge, depth, accomplishments, recognition, and joy in life than a person as shallow and self-serving as yourself are capable of. Instead of rising to the occasion, facing life's challenges head on, and contributing in a meaningful way, you opted to lie, steal, cheat, defraud, and ultimately kill the man that was, for some reason still unbeknownst to me, your biggest fan. You executed my father in an act of cold-blooded, premeditated murder, the man that did everything for you. Cooked your meals, washed your clothes, accepted your sedentary nature, supported your failed endeavors, and brought you into the warm embrace of our family. Your repayment for decades of dedication, trust, and love? To plot his murder on Christmas Eve, while in the presence of his parents and grandchildren. Pain you have delivered to us is immeasurable. Your theft of a parent and grandfather for such selfish reasons is unforgivable. You were, to borrow from your catalog, the wrong wife. Lying at the bottom of a river or buried in the earth somewhere is the instrument you use to destroy lives. Not only the life of the man that loved you unconditionally, but those of my grandparents that offered you acceptance and support, of my wife that took solace in knowing there was family on this side of the country to help support our growing family, of my eldest daughter who was beguiled by your feigned displays of nurturing, of the son my wife was 5 months pregnant with on the day he was murdered, who would have surely been my father's greatest admirer, and our youngest child who will never even know your name. You are a monster, and I am ashamed that I have to admit to my children that people like you walk amongst us, undetected, until the moment best serves to let narcissistic personality traits devolve into those of a full-blown sociopath. Unburdened by morality, empathy, compassion, and decency, you chose to extinguish the life of someone capable of giving all of those things to the many people that surrounded him. You lived in the shadow of a great human being. Instead of acknowledging your shortcomings and redirecting your delusions of grandeur, you chose to deprive this world of a teacher, a father, a grandparent, and someone who served as an inspiration to the countless lives he touched. I would suggest you be ashamed of your actions, but that would presuppose you possess the ability to think of anyone besides yourself. In the words of Gabriel Garcia Marquez, there's no greater misfortune than dying alone. Yet for you, Nancy, I can't imagine a more fitting end to this tragedy. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I believe that's everybody who wished to make a statement today. We do have the issue still of restitution. We are requesting that restitution be set over for 90 days, but that we actually set a date for that hearing to happen, and we're requesting 2 hours for that hearing. I think we're trying to work out a date that works best, but of course we need to check with the court to see what works for the court within 90 days as well.
Sure. I would say a Friday is probably going to be the best day. All right. So no one else then to speak for the state?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Defense?
Your Honor, the defense has nothing to add.
All right. Well, I do want to say to the family and friends of Chef Brophy, as he came to be described during this trial, I can't imagine what it's like to go through years of waiting to find resolution in this case. Although I never knew him, I did learn a lot about him through the various witnesses that testify. And I know that Karen Brophy said it was heartwarming to hear from them, because I think the thing that you can take away, which I hope gives you some small measure of solace, is that he was a mentor and a teacher to many and had an impact over a lot of people's lives. And hopefully they will turn and have an impact on others themselves as they teach. The impression I came away with was that he was a man of quiet dignity. And so I hope that this at least will bring some level of closure to you. Mrs. Brophy, if you can rise for sentencing. In Oregon, for the crime of murder in the second degree, the sentence is a life sentence. I'll order that you be considered for parole after 25 years. And we'll leave open restitution for 90 days. I will let you figure out, I know you want to pick a date right now, so we'll figure that out. I will waive other fines and fees given the lengthy prison time. You can have a seat and we'll figure out the, yes, Mr. Overstreet.
Sorry, Your Honor, I did cut you off. There's still the issue of the gun minimum. This was charged with firearm language attached, and the jury did find that a firearm was used in this crime. And so we'd ask that the judgment reflect ORS 161610, which is the 5-year mandatory gun minimum for use of a firearm. We just ask that that be reflected on the judgment. That clearly runs the first 5 years of the sentence, so it doesn't add anything or change anything.
Sure, and it'll reflect that in this being a murder case, the state will create the judgment for my signature, which of course defense will get a chance to look at as well. As far as 90 days, I've just mentioned that a Friday would be the best day. We'll give you some options in just a moment here. I'm gone the last 2 weeks.
Yes, it's going to be in the beginning of September, so give me just a second. I'm just having trouble with honesty. Could do Friday, September 9th at 9 a.m.
That work for the state?
We can make it work.
It looks like it may not work for someone.
Your Honor, Aaron, also on behalf of the victim, I will be in Washington DC, and I expect that if the restitution hearing is necessary, I will be assembling the information needed and assisting the prosecutor.
Okay, what about the week prior to that? What would that date be?
The week, August, you were not, can't do September 2nd, so would September 16th, which would be the week following.
Your Honor, I'm in trial that week. That won't work for the defense.
All right. Can we do it on another day of the week?
We can try. Give me just a second. Let me take a look. We could do, sorry, it's just frozen, which is fine.
Sure.
We could do the 6th, which would be a Tuesday.
Oh, shoot.
I'm going to be in DC all of that week.
That entire week? Okay, I think I just misunderstood when that started. Okay. And defense is in a trial. Counsel, is your trial the entire week of the 12th through 16th?
Well, I've blocked off the whole week.
Okay, I just am clarifying.
I think I learned from this case to block off the whole week.
Sure. All right.
And that's that whole week. 1 second.
The week previous, am I around?
We are not available the week at the beginning of September. I don't have anything listed for the end of September as you being unavailable, other than misdemeanor rotation.
As long as it's within the 90 days, it's fine.
I think the problem is that the 90 days is September 11th or 12th, and then therefore we'd need to set something
Prior to that.
unless the parties are okay with saying that we go outside of 90 days.
What do we have earlier in August?
Trials.
But not necessarily on a Friday. We could take some time to do this.
Okay, I will pick the closest Friday. So we would have to double book with this case. Strickland. Okay. So, and we could do it in we could set this in the afternoon. So we could do 1:30 p.m. on Friday, August 12th.
Well, we'll go through the rotation here. Does it work for at least one of the state's members?
There should be. There you go.
We'll make it work.
All right, and what about for defense?
I think we can make that work, Your Honor.
All right, we'll do that. We'll set that, so that I will do on a minute order today.
Yes, I'm working on the minute order now. So it would be 1:30 p.m. on Friday, August 12th.
Okay.
Okay, and then it sounds like we are set to go off the record, so we'll go off the record now, and I will mute and disconnect WebEx unless anybody has anything else. Okay, we are off record, and I'll go ahead and change WebEx.